guys are definitely nitpicking bad plays without showing the good ones. This is as bad as ESPN Stephen A breakdowns. No, because Trevor asked for the other pick. I pulled up the other pick. You're not going to pay attention. Don't watch the show. I don't know what I'm doing. This is not the intro. But, I mean, everyone was like, oh, Jordan Love is down. The season's over. And I'm like, they got Malik Willis. They're going to be fine. And what are they since he took over? But he looks comfortable, and he looks happy, and he looks like he can make the plays that everyone thought. Like,
he's a great QB2. Better than Sean Clifford.
Yeah.
He is way better than Sean
and Skylar Thompson.
And he's better than Jordan Love, too.
I had to listen to Zach all last week blabble about Bryce Young, not the issue. Andy Dalton's not going to do anything. They have no weapons, nothing. Guess what? Andy Dalton was the best quarterback in the NFL this week. And all these weapons, play great. Bryce Young, if he, in his dreams, he couldn't even play this well. Obviously, stat-wise it was, but
stat-wise it obviously was. I think it was his best game yet. But that's kind of the reason alarm bells should be going off in Chicago.
I think Bo Nix you look at Bo Nix's flash more, and he has much less talent on his team than Caleb Williams does.
Because offensive lines
if you don't have time to throw, you can't be a great quarterback. Zach should know this more than anybody, being a Jaguars fan. I agree. If you don't have time to throw, you can't be a good quarterback. Okay, but when you do have time to throw,
you don't even have time
and you hold on to the ball too long when there are guys open that you can see that are open. If you watch the all-22 and he's not throwing it because he's trying to find the big play, then it doesn't matter if you have time to throw because you have the time. And you hold on to the ball too long and the defense gets there and it causes a sack.
That's not the case, though, for Caleb Williams.
It is!
It's not. I watched the game. That's not the case.
Hello and welcome back to the Beerly Football Podcast. It's about football, but Beerly. I'm your host, Zachary Smith. Joining me as always is a man who's a little bit gay for a man named Drake May. It's Beerly Carey.
All right.
We all are May stands here tonight in life, in liberty.
What?
We all are.
Are we?
No. Sure. Emotionally, we are.
His favorite dinosaur starts with stag, and he really likes to get pegged. It's Billy Trev Scott.
Dude, I've kind of accepted that's just going to happen for the rest of the season.
The rest of your life, honestly.
Probably the rest of my life, yeah.
How we doing tonight, guys? How we doing?
3-0 and pick 'em, so that's why I was here so early, ready to get going. Because
What?
I just couldn't wait for the show because I went 3-0. I'm very excited to be here.
It's too early for pick 'em. We can't talk
perfect.
pick 'em.
Is what
2
they're
minutes
called.
in. How do we know you went perfect? Nobody can confirm that right now.
Yeah, we all can.
I don't know. Save it for the show. Zach, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm in severe physical pain, but because I'm a trooper and a warrior, I show up to work on time, ready to rumble.
There it is.
So, what are we drinking tonight?
Unfortunately, me and Trevor both survived the hurricane. I thought at least one of us was not going to make it.
Yeah, I was bummed out that I couldn't get another host on here, but we're stuck with you.
Yep.
You guys.
Stuck. Yep. So the next hurricane. Probably the next 2 weeks.
But what are we drinking?
I think I'll go first. I'm drinking one that I think Trevor's drank this on the show before. I saw it at Target and was like, looks solid. It is a Golden Road mango cart. Trevor,
those are pretty good, man.
Yeah, this is pretty good. It's very fruity. It's only a 4.5%, but it tastes very good. I like it.
Hey, way to throw it back to your intro with the fruity thing.
I know. I love fruity. Fruity's great. There's all these little people on the can. Say hi to all little people. They're on their bicycles. They're at the beach. They're having a great time.
They have a variety pack.
They were really?
3 good flavors and 1 really bad flavor. You should try that one too.
Yeah, I'm not a huge mango person, but the mango one.
But the bad flavor sounds like something you shouldn't be drinking. It's like double cactus or something, like some spicy cactus taco. It's a weird one.
I feel like
Sounds like you're calling an audible.
Is there a lime one of these?
Spicy cactus taco.
Is there a lime one? Because I feel like a lime one of these would be outstanding.
I don't know. There might be, but
Sounds good.
I could look that up for you.
You could. I guess Google does exist, sometimes.
Google does exist. In
What about
some
you?
ways, it exists in a more real place than all of us.
Are any of us truly real?
Damn,
I should've
30-minute
ChatGPT'd
intro.
it.
You're damn straight.
It's gonna be.
No, I didn't have time to make a new intro this week.
It's gonna be 40 minutes next week.
Yeah, we're hoping to get an hour intro and then do like a 5-minute.
Yeah, just do like a
Some
little
point.
5 minutes at the end and then just get out of here.
We should even record. Just put a whole intro. See if anybody will listen to the whole thing. Gotta be a couple really fans out there.
Yeah, a 1 hour intro and then the stream ends. Please make it.
We still got the
50.
loyal fan base listens every week.
Trevor, what you got tonight?
Shout out to the loyal fan base. I didn't know it. This was in the back of the fridge, beat up, survived the hurricane through not having power for 3 days. Still sealed. It got cold again. It's a little flat, but it's one of the Schaffer hoppers that I had a few weeks ago. I'm already halfway done with it. These things are delicious.
Solid.
All right. I'm going with some call it a classic.
Somebody once told me.
Mountains are blue today, boys. The mountains are blue. We're going with Coors Light.
I feel like giving it a
Classic American lager.
Straight out of Denver, Colorado, son. It's the way to be.
Old as the Rockies.
It is old as the Rockies. Are we ready to talk some football now?
Let's talk
Carrie,
some
I found
ball.
that variety pack if you want to know.
No, you did?
So the one that's really good is guava cart in it, and then there's
Guava.
mango cart that you just had. And then there's two, there's one called street cart and one called spicy mango cart, and those both sound gross, but one of them's good and the other one's bad.
That's fair. As long as one of them's good.
One's probably not great.
Yeah.
I think it might be the spicy mango cart.
Oh, really?
Spicy sounds interesting. I don't know if that's good or not.
I think street cart is like street corn. Maybe that's the nasty one.
That's what I'm thinking it is, and
Yeah,
it
it sounds
sounds
a little-
gross.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. It's
Street
wild.
corn beer.
Like a ranch beer, almost, kind
That
of.
sounds like the pickle beer I had on the show a couple weeks ago.
You have that a little too often, man. I've never even seen one of those. You drink one every like 4 weeks.
How about some college football action?
College football.
Good games last week. One was not a good game. Texas, Oklahoma. Texas looked a little slow coming out. Trevor was not a Queen Ewers fan. Oklahoma's offense was just awful.
Yeah, I mean, I think here's the thing. When you're dissecting this game, so everyone's like, wow, it looks like Texas is the only team that can go in and take care of business, blah, blah, blah. If you look at their two biggest wins, like their impressive wins, one's against a Michigan team with no offense, and one's against an Oklahoma team, again, with no offense.
Who is now unranked.
Who is now unranked. So it's like they're two big wins at this point. They haven't really shown me that much.
But like leading off of that, they
They
go,
got a big chance this week.
Yeah, they go Georgia. Oh, never mind. It doesn't give that hard. I
But
thought it got way harder than that. It's just
Georgia's
Georgia.
a good place to show your credit, though. I think they have Texas A&M at the end of the season, though.
They do at the last game of the year. They got to go to Vandy too. I mean, Bama didn't win there, so
But yeah, Vandy. I think Vandy's
Dude,
like.
that game's probably going to be sold out, bro.
I think Vandy's like one of the first two out right now. I think in top 25.
Texas at Vanderbilt. How cheap you think you could get a ticket to that game right now?
$40.
No way.
$12.
No, I'm saying more expensive.
Well, look it up. Look it up.
I do want to say, I don't know why they didn't consider bringing Jackson Arnold in that game, who got benched earlier this season. At least he can throw the ball. Michael Hawkins had no chance at all. Jackson Arnold could have given them some life. And he was like a 5-star recruit coming in. He was supposed to be pretty good. But was not a close game. Another good game was Penn State
Holy
coming back
moly.
to USC.
Guess what the ticket price is? Start at
92.
$163.
Dude, the cheapest I'm
crazy.
getting is $220. Dude,
That's nuts, dude.
Dude, Vanderbilt's back. The Commodores.
dude, they're gonna knock
Wow.
off a number one at home. That's crazy.
Trevor, what'd you think of the Penn State USC game?
Penn State and USC.
You like the tight
That
end?
tight end is nasty, dude. He's like Brock Bowers, but bigger.
What'd you think of Aller in that game?
Some people are just college quarterbacks, and he's somebody I bet on him twice, and he's hit both times. So I'm not gonna say anything bad about him, but he's a good college.
Is he giving you Trace McSorley vibes?
Nah.
People
But
love
that game kind of gave me the vibes of who played Trace McSorley and Sam Darnold. They played like a Rose Bowl or something like 10 years ago, and it was a really close game.
People love his intangibles though. They're like he's got
Who?
such a big arm. Aller. I guess he's
Wait, what does that mean? His intangibles?
he's 6'5". He's got a big arm. He can move.
So basically, the things that Kerry liked about Will Levis.
Yeah.
Wait, Drew Aller is 6'5".
I didn't know he was that big.
I didn't think he was that
But he's
either.
6'5".
Hell, he is. He's every bit of 6'5".
NFL teams
too.
just love big guys with big arms.
'Cause
So
it's
does
just gonna-
Kerry
you saw how
Dempsey.
easy
That's
it
why
was
he
to
was a
make
big
Josh Allen
Daniel
look
Jones
good.
fan.
Drake
That's why he was a
May.
big. Why he was a big Will Levis fan. That's why now he's a big Drake May fan. He was a big Drake May fan coming out of college.
Just like big white guys, Kerry.
Exactly. Justin Herbert, Josh Allen. I love them all.
If it ain't
but you don't
big
like
and
Aller.
white, then it ain't right at quarterback.
You don't like
That's why
Aller.
he's a Lamar hater, Trevor.
Why?
I don't understand how it's still possible to be a Lamar hater.
When have I ever? He's my number one quarterback right now.
Good man.
CJ Stroud might be better. I'm a Patrick Mahomes and Trevor McBus Lawrence hater. I'm a Lamar hater. Trevor, what do you think of what looked like a terrible game? They should have won this 100 times. Tennessee looked terrible. And I don't know why Tennessee's so high ranked. How did Florida not beat Tennessee?
Dude, that was frustrating. That was, I felt something that Saturday night. I really did. That was really annoying, dude. We went to the red zone 5 times, didn't score. It's 3-0 at halftime. But the quarterback got hurt. Just it's kind of interesting way he got hurt. If you're listening to this and want to watch him, actually maybe don't watch him get hurt, but nothing really happened.
I want to say most football fans, pretty much all football fans, were probably watching Oregon and Ohio State, not Florida and
Dude,
Tennessee.
which was the game of the year, and I'm over here getting pissed off. Billy Napier's bad, dude. I think I tweeted at him.
Yeah,
No, I
he's
tweeted at the
good.
Gators. I got to get rid of that guy.
Is the season over, man? Is it over?
If we go undefeated with DJ Lagway, though,
Honestly, I was looking at the rest of their schedule. If they go undefeated with DJ Lagway, there's a decent chance they're in the playoffs.
yeah.
They're three.
Yeah.
What are they?
You can fire off what is it, 7 straight, 8 straight?
Yeah. Zach, did you get a chance to watch the Oregon Ohio State game at all?
Unfortunately, I did not. But I did watch the game later. And nothing makes me happier than Ohio State losing. I love when I love when anybody beats Ohio State, except Notre Dame. I hope it ends in a 0-0 tie with both teams injured. And I know you shouldn't root for injuries, but I'm a bad person, so.
You're right. You got to be perfect. You just got to be you.
Dylan Gabriel had been underwhelming this year, but he really played well in that game.
I bet on him a few times last year, too.
You know what? Will Howard, he's been fine. He had that stupid play at the end, but Kyle McCord has been so much better this year. Will Howard,
Is Will Howard big?
Will Howard is 6'4".
Yeah, there's another big white guy for you, Kerry.
No, I don't like him. He's not that good.
Why?
He's not big enough. I need 6'5". I need 6'5" and bigger.
Huh.
One more game which I watched, which was very fun. LSU beating Ole Miss. Sadly, Ole Miss had so many chances to win this game and fell. Garrett Nussmeier does not impress me at all. He did not look that good in this game.
That's not like an NFL quarterback.
No, he's a college quarterback.
There's not going to be a Nussmeier that's a good quarterback. You can't put that on a jersey.
They're still a good offense though, and LSU could be a hard team to beat at the end of the season.
Yeah. Did you see what's his name? What's the Ole Miss quarterback? Jackson Dart with the hoodie on?
Yeah.
We gotta win out.
The Jedi Temple.
Imagine they do, bro.
Yeah, don't let this guy anywhere near Joe Temple. That's funny.
I like Jackson Dart though. I thought he was taller though, so I might not like him as much. He's only 6'2", but
shorty makes shorts.
But he can move around, right?
Yeah, he's really mobile. And another good game, last good game that week, Colorado almost had against Kansas State. They lost Travis Hunter to injury. Kansas State pulled it out in the end. Colorado, they're better than they were last year. We'll give them that.
Wait, so Trevor didn't go perfect on Pick'em?
Hey, college pick he didn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sadly. You ready for this week of college pick'em? There's another week of good games in college this year.
Let's hear it.
I went through this game, Zach. Do you think there's any chance Louisville can upset Miami this week?
Right now, with the way we come out of the first half, anybody can upset us.
I don't know how good Louisville's defense is, but their offense is pretty good. Ja'Cory Brooks is a great wide receiver.
They were ranked pretty high like 3 weeks ago, but
that should be a high-scoring game.
Then this is now,
How about
Bama, Tennessee?
Yeah, that's our first one. Bama, Tennessee. Who you got?
Bama, if they lose to this Tennessee team.
Tennessee looks terrible. Bama should.
I think at this point, someone was saying this, and I might agree. Do you think this is an elimination game?
For Tennessee, I don't think for Bama. I think you get in with 2 losses.
And the winner of the SEC is automatically in. But this is actually really good for college football, adding Texas and Oklahoma in.
Just wait till Army's the 12th seed in the playoffs.
It's like somebody to
wait. No. Oh gosh, I'm excited for this scenario. Okay, I think I told it to you guys a couple weeks ago. So Army and Navy both go undefeated. They both beat Notre Dame. Okay, here's the scenario. They then play in their conference championship game. One of them wins. And then they go back the very next week and play in the Army-Navy game, and the other one wins.
That would be incredible.
Who gets into the playoff? Or do you put them both in? Chaos.
Dude, I'm so excited for the college.
Dude, that could start something. Like, actually. Imagine one of those Navy pilots gets really pissed about it, dude. Just fire something off at an Army base.
Dude, what if somehow like Navy gets in the playoffs and like beats Texas, beats Georgia, wins it all?
I'm not even kidding you. The next Army or Navy game or whoever gets through and beats like a top seed, that game will be sold out and it'll be only one fan base in there, and it'll be Service Academy. No one's gonna be rooting for the favorite.
If like Army or Navy won a national championship, like we'd have to go to war or something. Like just I don't know. I feel like that would be a good celebration. Not a good celebration.
I don't know if you guys saw this last weekend. Illinois was winning 34-2 with 14 minutes left in the game, and Purdue came back and took them to overtime. They were down 34-2 with 14 minutes left. How is it even possible? And Zach's gonna pull out his Purdue Boilermaker shirt just because I said
that. Boilermakers, baby. You can't sleep on them Boilermakers, baby. The train's coming into town.
I guess it is. And the last game of the week, our big pick'em game, 7 p.m. Saturday, Georgia, Texas. Who you got?
Ooh, this is a good one, man. What time is this?
Seven.
This should be at 3:30, and Bama, Tennessee should be at night. Nighttime in Neyland Stadium would be crazy.
I'm gonna go.
Nobody wants to go to Texas at night. It's not Houston.
Texas defense has just looked so good, and Beck has been heavy on turnovers lately, so I think they'll force a couple, and Texas pulls it out in a close game.
I don't trust either offense.
I'm going to give Georgia.
But I trust Texas' defense more. I so want Georgia to win this game.
Why?
Because I hate Texas. I can't explain why.
Oh, I didn't know that about
you. I don't listen. Okay, it's different from Ohio State hate. It's different.
I get that. Everybody hates Ohio State a little bit.
It's different. like I would root for Texas over Ohio State, but like I like it's kind of
You
the
would
same
root
thing
for
with the
anyone
Cowboys.
else.
It's kind of like the same with the Cowboys, where it's like every year it's their year, they're back, and it's just like, okay, guys,
One year they're going to be back, Zach. 1 year.
you say
Zach.
it enough times. It's
Zach, what about Texas, Florida State in a college football playoff game?
oh god.
What happens there? Who do you root for? It's the only game on. You got to watch it.
I root. This is one of those things where I'm a bad person. I root for quarterback injuries, not major, but enough to keep them out a week so they play the next game and then lose.
Gotcha.
Trevor, would you take Texas if Arch was starting?
No, probably not. I don't hate Quinn Ewers enough to bench him.
All right.
But he was rusty. I'll take Georgia, though.
Iowa State's top 10. He's scared of Iowa State.
This is odd, dude. No, but I like this. This is good.
I had the luckiest bet of all time with Iowa State last week. I needed this guy to have like 5 more passing yards, and they were up like 20 points in the fourth quarter, and they were supposed to kneel it to end the game, but he decided to throw like a 30-yard pass to hit the over. I was like, I love you, Rocco Becht.
Dude.
Only like $150.
In a few years, this is going to start feeling like March Madness in this.
It's going to be fun.
12 teams.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great playoff.
Because it's not the craziest thing in the world for the middle of the season for the 15 to beat the 2. But when it happens in the first round of the playoffs, it's going to be like a crazy upset.
Yeah.
Just like March Madness.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
All right, let's head to NFL. Pick 'em last week. It was a rough week for some of us. Sadly, I went 0-3. I believed in the Jaguars, and that led to my downfall. I fall to 5-13 on the season.
That's horrible.
It's rough. Zach,
horrible.
Great week either, but better than me. He went 1-2. He did pick the Ravens right, which was his only victory. Zach is even on the season. He's 9-9. Not too bad. Not too.
Hey, listen, we're 500.
Yeah, that's all it accepts. And Trevor, unfortunately, went 3-0, picking the Bears, Ravens, and Chargers. He improves to 12-6 on the season.
That's
a
good.
3-game lead on Zach, a 7-game lead on me. That is rough. But at least I beat both of you in fantasy the last 2 weeks, so that's something.
I didn't have power. I couldn't set my lineup. But
Shut up.
It's all right. I kept my players like a champ.
Before we head into week 7, there was a crazy amount of winners last week, so this is going to take a bit of time.
How many?
This was the most winners we've had since 2023. We had 51 winners last week.
Oh,
I think the most we had this season was 18 before this. So congrats to all you. We do these every Friday on Twitter. Get all through right. We'll shout you out like I'm going to right now. And don't fall asleep throughout this segment, anyone, because you want to hear your name. Our winners, at Rabon44 is from Chicago. At Skip727, politically incorrect, loves beer. Who needs to listen to this podcast, obviously.
Yeah.
At SoCal Ball Nerd, co-founder of the Sports Affiliation. At Delta Coach 48, Pepsi is his favorite drink. At PvP_Rich, Herbert enthusiast from NJ. I feel like Trevor fights with that guy on Twitter, probably because he's a Chargers fan. At Staffieri_Mark, writer for WHL Official. At Hailster16, 2-time winner. At Harlem51, 2-time winner. At Breadman Jeremy, big Vols fan. At Bogo Karma, does not like Kamala Harris. At Brian Lelis, 2-time winner. At Gary44665335, 2-time winner. At Ryder33414, former Dolphins fan. Gave up on the fandom. That's rough. At H Wilson16, Lions fan. At Joshua DMC Swain, his birthday is November 18th. At Tombstone1232, Hoagie connoisseur. At Fezcoast, he likes classic cars. At Saijan16, Seahawks fan from Little Rock. At T Bloomer67, 3-time winner. At Eng Farm, Chargers fan from Canada. At Beach 3 Life, U of Miami fan. Sounds like should be a friend of Zach.
Shout out to the U, baby.
At Thanos Thumbmore, Benjamin, sports fan. At Matthew_Sheridan, Bears fan from North Carolina. At Vexed_Alchemy, 2-time winner. At Jeff Bartlett, 85, Chicago sports fan. At Fud Seelick, 2-time winner. At True Beach Lover, big Mets fan. At American Observed 9, Bears fan. At Exotic Chiefer, big Chargers fan. At Chris Blacreen, Chargers fan. At Imperfect Bob, Lions fan for 27 years, and he's perfect this week. At Khalid Sheehy, 23121, Chicago sports fan. At Barry Caffeine, 2-time winner. At Carol 3 Scott, huge Reds fan. At 01 Star Blazer, the one and only Blazer. At 3BB Bastards, check out their podcast. At Ken P0821101 from Chicago. At Jay Hertz fan, big Jalen Hurts fan. At Ed Longfellow as older man with bold taste. At Dub_Lover, Niners fan. At Pat Wallach 51352 Commanders fan. At Phil_Lumley from England. At Billy420S likes weed. This might be Trevor's burner. At Dum for now from Florida. At Terrence235944392. This was one of the only accounts in the history of Pick'em that I cannot find anything to say about, so I got nothing about his account.
Terrence
235.
I love him.
No, it's somebody else.
It's
some random guy with no picture or no anything.
Oh.
At Aiden Messi177, Houston sports fan. At JMonk3, Minnesota sports fan. At the CFB coverage college sports fan. At GM Coach TV content creator. At BW Adams24 two-time winner. And last one at Tim_Monhan9 writer at Fanside. Congrats to all you winners. I almost lost my voice from reading all you. Hopefully this week there won't be as many.
You know what? Shout out to Carrie for reading all those words.
It's tough.
Yeah, really. We used to time him.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that without pausing. That's hard.
I used to try to kick him out or call him and make his phone quit working.
I think because last year we had a couple 100 winners. That was rough.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor, what we got this week? Week 7.
Pick 'em, boy.
Ooh.
Please pick the poop bowl, please.
Well, do we want to?
Please, man, you got to
do it, man. Let's freaking do it.
Let's do the Patriots and the Jags. Team Carey versus Team Zach.
I don't believe in this team at all, but I got to rep it, man. Patriots.
I don't know, dude. Say Jags in an absolute 12-10 shootout.
I do love Drake May's line for this of 170 passing yards. That should be free. The Patriots are so good. I saw this today. Their best lineman last week, they had signed off a Raiders practice squad on Thursday. He was on the team for 3 days, and he's their best lineman already.
Well, we traded away a defensive tackle for a 6th-round pick in 2 years. So we're moving all the way up, baby.
Yeah, you guys are.
Who is it worse off? The Patriots had one starting lineman by the end of the game that was on an NFL roster week 1. One.
Okay, so that makes me want to take the Jags, right? But you were so high on Drake May.
He also has a horrible team around him, so there's only so much he can do.
All right, so I'll take the Jags. Give me the Jags.
Damn it.
Right.
Whoever picks him, he's usually right, so.
Right and the wrong. All right, I'm 2 for 1 every week. Next, the 1 o'clock window, NFC North. The Lions at the Vikings.
Ooh, that's a good game.
Is this 5-1 versus 5-0?
Yep.
Vikings are rested. In Madden, sometimes the team gets distracted in their bye week, and they have minus 500 awareness.
It's true. And
it's -5. If it was -500, they'd be negative 400 awareness.
The final score of the next game would be 300-0.
Lions come
You're
out.
just what sport am I playing?
It's why am I here? The offensive line are what am I doing? They just get really insecure.
Yeah.
The whole game.
It's a tough one.
Stop touching me.
I'm sweating.
The center goes down to snap the ball. He grabs the ball. Quarterback is taking it from under. So he's like,
The false start.
I'm gonna go with the Lions. The winning streak comes to an end, sadly.
Okay.
They don't have Aiden Hutchinson.
They don't, but Jared Goff and the offense have looked amazing last 2 weeks.
They did play the Cowboys.
True. Jared Goff had 6 incompletions in the last 2 games. I don't know.
Also, shout out to this division, dude. They all have a good record.
Yeah. Best division in football right now.
This is tough, man. My heart is telling me the Lions, but I have to pick one game wrong. And I'd rather be. Okay, so I'm going to take the Vikings.
Skull, baby.
And I think
Skull.
this is
Goal.
Skull.
I think this is the one I get
Skull.
wrong.
Wait, is this at home for the Vikings?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I need to watch the pre-kickoff thing. It's the sickest.
It's
It's
pretty
the
good.
coolest pre-kickoff chant in the history of the NFL.
They do it
They
in
get
Madden,
that
too.
horn going. They got the drums. The whole crowd. Skull.
Makes you want to drink a pint, dude.
Dude,
Skull.
yes.
All right. So you both said Vikings?
Dude, I'm having major issues picking this game. I said the Vikings, but I don't know if I meant that.
Final choice, Trevor. You got 3 seconds.
Okay, wait. It's the day before my mom's
3,
birthday. I don't have 3
2,
seconds.
2,
1.
1. Make a pick.
Come
I
on.
guess he's sticking with the Vikings. Okay.
We got a show to do. We
All right,
can't.
give me the lines.
sit
Give
here
me
and
the
listen.
lines. Give me the lines.
All right. All right. What's our last game, Trevor?
Monday Night Football. I'm actually going to be at this
No.
game.
Wow. No Niners Chiefs?
Nah.
Wow.
Nah.
Nah.
Well, I mean, we can do either one. Super Bowl rematch or Ravens-Bucks. Monday Night Football.
I don't know what we think, Zach.
Big Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah.
I think it's
the
a harder
Niners
game to
kinda have
pick.
to win this
Yeah, I
game.
feel like would you all take the Ravens?
I would have taken the Ravens.
I would have taken the Ravens too.
It doesn't matter what I would have taken.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the Niners were 2-4. They're 3-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Chiefs.
Trevor, you should go first on this one.
I should.
Zach's just trying to copy.
It's only fair.
What are you talking about?
Do the opposite of whatever.
No,
Trevor-
I haven't went first yet.
Yeah.
Three.
No, he hasn't. That's why I said that.
Chiefs Niners. This is at 4:25.
Yeah.
This Sunday. Wow.
I mean, it's a bigger game for the Niners, and
This is the day before my mom's birthday, and she's gonna want to go out to dinner or lunch. I don't know, Mom.
it's rough.
I don't know if I can make it. Give me the Chiefs.
All right. I'm gonna say I think the Chiefs are gonna win this game, but I'm taking the Niners because I hate the Chiefs.
I think this fraudulent Chiefs team is going to get exposed.
I hope so, man.
I mean, this is the most fraudulent undefeated team I've ever seen.
That Steelers team that won here was pretty fraudulent.
Well, yeah, that's true. But this team is almost as fraudulent.
I
as them.
feel like they just know how to beat them.
But this is also like a revenge game, and it's like a meaningless game for the Chiefs, really.
Yeah.
Why is it a meaningless game for them? They could go 6-0.
They've already wrapped up their division. They're going to get the number one.
Yeah,
seed.
but don't they could lock up the 1 seed?
If the Niners are, well, I guess the Niners are in such a bad division too. It doesn't really matter. But
And the Chiefs, they want to lock up the 1 seed.
I don't know.
They want to win 12 games, 13 games as soon as possible.
Guess so.
But I really
I'm
do
the only
wanna
one
pick
that took the Niners?
I took the Niners. Zach.
Oh.
I said the Chiefs are going to win, but I'm taking the Niners.
I'm saying the Niners are going to win, but I'm taking the Chiefs.
Fair enough. You know the NFL needs them to have a perfect season. So Niners versus refs, man. All right, we ready to talk week 6 football now?
That's really tough. We got to move on to something else because I'm thinking way too much about those games.
We don't
Yeah,
want
let's
you
talk.
thinking.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's go through
Let's
the
talk
schedule again.
ball.
Niners, Seahawks.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't have power, so I couldn't change my fantasy lineup. So I had the Seahawks defense in. So shout out to Kerry.
You had power 2
On
hours
exclusion.
before the game.
But-
You could have put it in Tuesday, Wednesday until 10 p.m. You had 2 hours before the game.
Nah.
And I beat you
Tuesday.
I beat him by 35. You think one defense was going to save you?
No, but I was gonna do some other things, but
Oh, shut up.
No, I'm saying it's okay. I
Maybe
let
you
you
lost
have it.
like a man.
I'm a good man. I let you have it.
Shut up. Is it the end of Gino? Does he need to go?
It should be, but they need to like pull a trigger. I don't believe in Sam Howell like that. Like that, I don't think he should get pulled for Sam Howell.
What are you talking about, dude? Give him the stick, bro.
Zach, do you like Cam Ward there? I feel like it'd be a good fit for him with all those.
Cam Ward is old,
I would
right?
rather him be there than 90% of other teams.
I guess that's fair.
So you really like him there? Yeah.
Yeah. I like him there. The thing I'm worried about is he gets drafted to Tennessee or something, and then
I actually wanted
in division
Richardson here last year. Wanted him to trade up.
That would have been good, yeah.
Yeah, but I would like cry if I had to watch Cam Ward dunk on the Jaguars for 30 years.
Carrie, will you say Jackson Smith's full name?
What? Jackson Smith and the Jigba?
All right.
That was your best.
That was very good.
I know, it's good. I was prepared. I knew you were going to ask it.
Yeah. Wow. You said that
was your best
too,
ever.
dude.
I know. You should be proud of me.
Jeez.
I'm always proud of you, Carrie.
But Brock Purdy impressing me this year. I love what he's doing.
Gino's picks were bad, dude.
Gino's going to have like 5,000 yards and like 12 touchdowns, 14 picks this year. I don't know. There was
Niners
such
just
a
own the
fraudulent.
Seahawks, dude. As much as I hate to say it.
They were such a fraudulent 3-0 team. They didn't beat anybody.
They're good. They could sneak in the playoffs, though.
No, I don't think so.
It's the NFC. Why not?
There's a lot of good teams in the NFC this year.
Like who?
Like playoff teams?
So, like, the North will probably send.
The entire North, the Falcons, the Bucks, the Commanders, the Eagles. Cowboys are always in it. Niners.
The Cowboys will not be in the playoffs this year.
That's a fact.
I don't know. They might sneak in the last.
No, they
wild
won't.
card.
No,
You never
stop
know.
talking.
And I actually.
You're talking silly. You're
Andy
being
Dalton.
so silly right now.
So silly. Oh my god.
What?
That was a good one.
Where did that come from, man?
You know what? You guys want to get silly and talk Sunday 9:30 football? Battle your
Talk
boys.
about Mimosa
Williams,
football.
Trevor Lawrence.
The prince who was promised stood up. But he doesn't have blonde hair.
Congratulations, you beat the worst secondary in football.
He played so good. I was so happy. I was like on my knees in front of the TV watching that game.
He also threw the worst pick I've ever seen.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I thought Jordan Love threw the worst pick.
I've seen Lawrence throw a worse pick than that.
The one that he threw out the guy's helmet was awful too.
Yeah, that was wild.
You shouldn't have been standing there. That's rude. You don't stand that close to people.
Don't stand there. Yeah.
Caleb's getting better each week though.
I can't even say that was better. Our defense is awful. Our secondary is beat up and terrible. They're bad. They're mediocre when they're completely healthy. We're down our top two corners.
Zach, what happened with their running game? Like Penn Smithy been playing so well, and then just like Dearness Johnson plays like all the snaps. What is going on?
I don't know.
Brian Thomas has just been playing so well.
Am I on the offensive coaching staff? No, I'm not.
Was Doug Peterson in 2024 is stinky, I think.
Was Jalen Johnson on Brian Thomas?
He was all over.
Brian Thomas did nothing in that game.
We were trying to, for whatever reason, force feed the ball to Gabriel Davis in 2024.
He had 8 targets. Goodness.
He caught a couple touchdowns, though, right?
Yeah, after dropping 2 at least.
Evan Ingram, 10 catches on 10 targets is pretty impressive, though.
Evan Ingram's a good tight end. I love him.
He's definitely underrated.
He's always underrated, underappreciated.
I mean, they have a pretty good receiving group. If Brian Thomas could be that number 1, Kirk is a 2, Davis is a 3, Ingram tight end, Etienne receiving back. Etienne looked terrible those first couple carries. They're better off without him.
He's hurt. I don't know. He's been a little banged up all year. I don't know what's going on with him, though. He has not looked good this year. He's struggled with the fumble bug.
Keenan Allen finally did something in that game, too. 2 touchdowns.
I know, yeah. He looked all right.
His fat ass got involved.
Shout out to Ronald Darby. Great
he saw my
pickup.
He saw my Popeyes tweet, and he was like, all right.
You must have inspired him. All right, let's talk 1 p.m. games if you got nothing else about this one.
So
Let's head to the most boring game first. Let's go boring to fun. Colts beating the Titans. Do you have anything? I will say I'm officially out on Will Levis. I will no longer support this man. I'm off the train.
Oh, man.
I apologize for my former takes.
Arguing on.
I was wrong. He was terrible. And watch now. He'll probably play well after I give up on him, but he's awful. They're better off with Mason Rudolph, right? Mason Rudolph would have won this game. Will Levis was awful. He could not move the ball at all.
Did you see his celebration when he scored?
He didn't even score.
Oh, he didn't score?
No, it was a rushing touchdown. The Colts have one of the worst secondaries in the NFL, and he couldn't throw for 100 yards.
He knows it's like not gonna last long, so he's just not taking a single second.
He's like, I'm gonna be remembered.
Yeah, he's gonna have as much fun as possible.
Goodness, that was a game. Joe Flacco hanging on though. Won another game. All right, another one of the boring games.
But he can't beat my Jaguars. Let's go.
Sure.
Go Jags.
The battle of
he can throw for 400 yards, but he's not beating us.
The battle of the incompetent offenses. Once again, Deshaun Watson held under 200 yards. Once again, Deshaun Watson must be like holding the owner and coaches like kids hostage, or
no, it's his
something.
Contract that's holding him hostage.
Goodness,
they feel like at this point we have to play him because we're paying him so much money.
Why?
And we don't have because they don't have anyone else. Like
Winston is better than him.
I know, but like that's their only good player. I mean, like good concept. You know, like this is where all their money is. It's like the show. You can't just have like these random people out there, like
it's kind of like
$280 million just sitting back on the bench, just watching porn on his phone, probably. You can't. You gotta have him out there.
Eagles did not impress me. The Eagles should have blown them out in this game. I don't know why this was such.
But you know what impressed me? The class and upstanding individual that's the head coach of the Eagles. He's such a class act, that guy.
You see, he brought his kid out in the press conference the next day.
Yeah.
He's such an asshole.
Hey, how about Grant Alcantara getting involved?
Dude, I swear to God, if we fired Doug Peterson and hired Nick Sirianni,
I would quit the fan base immediately.
I would. I will. I swear to God.
Sirianni's not going to work anywhere outside of Philly.
Speaking of the Browns, what do you guys think of the two big trades today? Amari Cooper to the Bills and Devontae Adams to the Jets.
Bills might be competitive. Wait.
Competitive.
In like
you almost wrapped up the AFC East already.
In closely matched playoff games, I think.
That's like the most positivity Trevor can give.
Yeah, like
because like I can't like
just the way they played, like when they played bad teams versus when they played good teams. I didn't think if they got to the playoffs that they would beat anybody good, but I like Amari Cooper a lot. Like I like when teams have a real wide receiver one, a reliable one, who is low-key having his worst year. He's had a lot of drops, but I've had him on my fantasy team like last year and the year before, and he did well for me. So me and him got no beef. I think he's a good wide receiver one. It was a good move, very good move for them.
Allen doesn't really trust any of these guys. Like Coleman's had a lot of drops. Shakir's okay.
I think Shakir right now is the de facto number one in that offense.
But
before Cooper, he was the de facto number one in that offense. But he was also hurt the last week.
Who was?
And you saw what their offense did without Khalil Shakir, and it was nothing.
I feel like he did even have a catch last night.
I don't know. This is definitely going to stun Keon though, because he started having a couple good games.
Yeah, he's had like one big catch every game.
Yeah. Oh.
But Bill's competitive. How about the Jets? You think Devontae's going to rekindle his?
I think he'll definitely help out, and
I think this affects that offense absolutely zero.
You think Devontae Adams?
What?
Zero? What?
Zach, what?
I think it has little to no effect on that offense's production.
What?
No. I don't think it's going to be as great as people think as the old days, but it's definitely going to be better with Devontae.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem I have with it, okay? There are so many more problems with this Jets team than another wide receiver.
That is true.
Okay,
But when Garrett Wilson's not open, who do you throw to? Tyler Conklin, Alan Lazard?
Lazard had like 100-something yards last night.
exactly.
That's a problem,
Alan
bro.
Lazard's having an incredible year. I don't know why you're.
That's a problem, though. I think that's not a good thing.
It's a problem.
Garrett Wilson is
problem that a guy is overperforming. Okay,
I actually think so.
Targets. Lazard has 350 yards and 5 touchdowns, 6 games. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't think
terrible.
That's good for the Jets. I think they know that's bad.
5 touchdowns in 6 games is bad for receiver.
You can't put that much trust in him.
Honestly,
he's been the most reliable receiver on the team this year.
Yeah, but playoff games, you got to be there, be square, and I don't think Alan Lazard.
Here's the thing.
No, I just don't think he's that guy.
Everyone is falling into the same trap that Kerry fell into with the Jets at the beginning of the season. The Jets, they got Rodgers. He's going to lead this team to the promised land. Praise Aaron Rodgers. He's definitely not washed and 800 years old, high in ayahuasca playing football. He's going to lead them to the number 1 seed in the AFC. It's just not going to happen, guys. They are not going to make the playoffs this year. They're not going to improve that much with Devontae Adams. I just don't see it happening.
Lazard?
They'll make the playoffs. Me and Trevor looked at their schedule. They do not have a tough schedule this year.
Lazard is in his 7th season, and he's had 1 season over 513 yards.
Oh, I think he's going to hit that this season, that he's got 350.
I don't know, dude. I don't know how much hope you want to put into that.
That he's not going to have 100.
Just listen.
Trevor, he's not going to have 170 yards in 9 games.
Who's the wide receiver 2 you trust?
T. Higgins.
So if you saw T. Higgins and he was like, yo, come here. Come on. Come here.
Yo, come here.
You might go with him, right? But
sure,
imagine Alan Lazard was like, come here. That's weird.
How Lazard's playing fine this season?
Lazard's playing good. He's not struggling with anything. His route running has been
Williams that was supposed to be
their number 2. Have been great. What are you talking about? You're just trashing Alan Lazard because he's not a big name receiver. That's the only reason you're
he's not special.
Alan was what?
In the playoffs, I feel like teams would have an easy go with him.
Why do you just hate Alan Lazard so much?
I don't. Random Alan Lazard.
Random hate of all time.
No, I just think Devontae Adams instead of Alan Lazard is really good.
What?
If you have Devontae out there instead of Alan Lazard.
I imagine all 3 of them are going to be on the field.
So you know what? This is an hour something podcast. We spent 5 minutes talking about Alan Lazard. I don't think we should
see, he's not that guy. He's not that guy. We spent way too long talking about him. He's not that guy.
All right, how about Trevor's Bucks? It was a close game early on. Trevor's a little scared, and then it's just turned into a battle.
Let me tell you.
50 burger.
I'm watching the Ravens and the Bucks game at the same time, doing 2 things at once. And the Bucks go up 17-0, so I just lock into the Ravens game, which is a great game. They're matching each other, punt, touchdown, field goal, punt. Great game. I look over at the Bucks game. It's a 3-point game, and this thing scored 24 points in 6 minutes. I was so confused, but
yeah,
they settled down and they put up a 50 burger on them. So I was able to really focus in on the Ravens game, which was a great game. But shout out to the Bucks.
Sean Tucker, a guy to watch out for, 14 carries, 136 yards. He had 56 yards receiving and another touchdown, 2 touchdowns, almost 200 yards. Is Rachaad White done? Was it Bucky Irving and Sean Tucker's back?
I went somewhere, and this guy was a Bucks fan. I can't tell you guys where I was, but I was talking to this Bucks fan. He had a Bucks visor on.
He was in his bathroom talking to the mirror, the man in the mirror. I can't tell you guys where I was. There, I saw this guy there. He's wearing a Bucks visor, and he started talking to me about the Bucks.
But really, he seemed like he knew what he was talking about, and he was saying Rachaad White is going to be RB3. But I know a lot of the fan base wanted to cut Bucky Irving last preseason and this preseason, but I didn't think he was that good. But hey,
he's been good. All right. Cardinals, Packers. Packers destroying. Cardinals have really let me down this year. They've had some big wins, beat the Niners. They almost beat the Bills. They blew out the Rams. But then, they just did not show up against Commanders, did not show up against the Packers. Is this just an awful team? What is
I wonder.
This is just Arizona Cardinals
who could have
football.
foreseen this. Who could have foreseen that the Cardinals would suck ass?
They're just fulfilling their destiny. This is what you.
Oh
get
yeah, it
from
was
the
me.
Cardinals.
Zach Stradamus back again. Thank you.
As Jordan Love, another 4-touchdown performance.
Congratulations.
12 touchdowns.
Wait. I seem to remember someone on this podcast pointing out that another quarterback having a good game against the Cardinals doesn't count because it's the Cardinals and their defense is terrible. Can't remember who it was or what quarterback it was, but I think the host's name rhymes with Pever and the quarterback's name rhymes with Kosh Talon.
Definitely me. So it's definitely probably me.
Probably.
Josh Allen played a whole bad half of football against them, though. I didn't really watch this game, so I don't know what Jordan Love did.
Jordan Love
got lucky as hell so often.
Jordan Love is going to put up Jameis 1.2.5 stats this year. He's going to have 45 touchdowns and 23 interceptions.
So, one of the touchdowns he scored, he literally just threw up a moon ball.
He's literally Brett Favre.
And he's only played 4 games, right?
Yeah, and he already has 12 touchdowns.
Jeez.
He's cooking, man. But Packers, they're good in a tough division.
They're not good.
Didn't he throw a lot of interceptions in one game?
He had 3, I think, in one. He had
3 in the Minnesota game, I think.
Yeah.
He's had 6. He had 2, I think he had 2 against the Eagles. He's had 1 every game, I think. All right, one more 1 p.m. before the last one. Texans blowing out the Patriots 41-21. C.J. Stroud looked excellent. Joe Mixon was back. Drake May, he impressed me, man. He made some great throws. Yes, it was a blowout.
He's not impressive, dude.
You did not watch the game at all.
I actually did watch the game, Kerry, and he was not impressive.
Goodness, you did not watch enough then. Man, you should have watched this offense the last 6 games. There was some life. He made a lot of rookie mistakes. That first interception was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it was
definitely a lot to work with him, but he showed some promise, man. He gave us some hope.
I mean, I said that preseason that I think he's probably just watching the tape in the All-22 on the preseason. I think he was probably the most pro-ready quarterback, to run a pro-ready offense, a pro-style offense. He's the most pro-ready quarterback.
He's the youngest of all of them.
I know.
I don't think he is.
How old is he?
20.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's just a little baby.
He's really good in the All-22.
21, I think.
That's all I'm going to say. But he has no help. So
that first half touchdown pass is beautiful. But if Antonio Gibson is your RB1, Pop Douglas is your wide receiver 1, you get a bunch of Walmart clerks on your O-line. But hey, this is the first time in 3 seasons the Patriots offense has had some excitement to it.
How many yards did he throw for? 300 something?
240. And one interception was tipped, so it wasn't totally on him. But the other one was terrible.
Tipped by who?
I can't remember.
So what if it was tipped by the defense and then picked off? It still wasn't his fault?
No, it was it was double tipped. It got tipped off, and it tipped to somebody else, and they caught it.
You said the last game. How come you didn't want to talk about the Ravens?
No, I meant the game after that. I had one last. What was I going to say?
About the Patriots?
Yes, my brain is broken, I guess, for the day. Oh, yeah. In the last, since 2020, the Patriots have only had 3 touchdowns with over 30 air yards. 3 in the last 4 years, and they had one of them today. The other one was Mac Jones, which he threw up, and then it tipped 20 yards, and then Myers caught it off the tip.
Hey, baby.
Cam Newton had the only other one. But at least you
Shout
got
out to Mac Jones and Cam Newton.
Dude, so what's it like just focusing on only a Patriots game that's the only thing you're watching? So what's it like watching that offense over the last however many years you just said.
That's
Not
why.
fun.
That's why that game excited me so much. I've had to watch Mac Jones for the last 2 freaking
How
years.
excited were you?
Jacoby Brissett, I was so excited. Like, even he could have thrown 7 interceptions in that game. Just that one touchdown gave me life. It was like the best play I've seen since Brady left. Yeah. All right. Last game at 1 p.m. Trevor, Ravens, Commanders. You knew the Ravens were going to win. They look pretty good. Jaden Daniels played pretty well, though. I have to say, it wasn't good enough. He played well.
Yeah, he played well. It was a low-scoring game. Both teams were had long put-together drives, but the Ravens just winners of 4 straight. They're so good on offense, dude. They look unstoppable.
Didn't Zay Flowers have 9 catches in the first half and then 0 in the second?
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's because they decided, hey, if we want to win this game, we got to start winning it to the best player on our team, Derrick Henry.
Lamar Jackson is the best player on the team. But they did run more in the second half, and Henry did his thing again. I need to work on that clip where Kerry is trashing Derrick Henry, and I'm going to put his highlights this year over.
It's rough. I was wrong on that one. That was probably my biggest L of the offseason right now. I've had some else. That was a rough one.
You know, the Ravens fans that I interact with on Twitter were really hoping they would go after Devontae Adams.
I don't think they could afford him, though.
It depends on who you trade. Mark Andrews?
I just don't think they needed him. They just don't need him in that offense. Zay's fine enough.
Yeah, but it's his second year. He's small, too, man.
I don't know. Maybe you should get Mike Williams. There's a big target for you.
Nah. I was actually thinking MVS got cut, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe him because Lamar does well with Nelson Aguilar.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's head 4 p.m. This is not a crazy exciting game. Chargers beating the Broncos. Broncos offense was terrible as always. It did have a lot of life in the fourth quarter when they finally decided they needed to score points to win a game, which I guess some teams don't know.
Well, scoring only matters because they keep score.
That's true.
That's right. That is right. That is right.
They finally let Justin Herbert throw for the first time. If you told this to us years ago that we would gone 4 games, Justin Herbert would not throw it over 180 yards, we'd be like, what?
Dude, I'd be so happy.
Justin Herbert played his best game of the season. Dude,
it's good defense.
Why? Because he actually played?
Yeah. Zach said this offseason, I believe, that Justin Herbert should be MVP if this team, I don't know if it was made the playoffs or has a positive record or something. Still keeping up that hope, Zach? They have a pretty easy schedule, I think, too, going forward.
So, here's the thing. My thought process was I don't see a lot of talent on this roster offensively. So if they score enough points to win games, it's going to be Justin Herbert having an insane year. But the way they've done it is put 3 tight ends down, put a fullback in there, and run a fucking power I in 2024 with J.K. Dobbins, and it's worked. So,
and no, I don't hate on the Chargers anymore, but they have beat the 3 worst teams in the NFL in America.
No, they haven't beat the Jags.
The Jags are not America.
Look at the record over the next
3 worst teams in America right now.
Trevor, they have the Cardinals, the Saints, the Browns, and the Titans. They could very well be 7-2 or 6-3.
That's going to drive me crazy.
Also, Trevor, I thought he was carried by Mike Williams for years and Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. All those guys have done nothing since they left.
All I said was they were carrying his stats. They were inflating his stats, which they were. See, this is winning football.
His leading receiver was Simi Fehoko.
Simi Fehoko, baby. Yeah. No, don't sleep on Simi Fehoko.
All right, Steelers pounding the Raiders 32-13. Trevor,
and now you change quarterbacks after a big win. You change quarterbacks.
That's kind of odd. That is kind of odd.
Russ is terrible.
I don't think Russ is terrible, but I think that's odd.
Fields is playing good enough football. There's no reason to turn it over. You could lose the locker room with this move.
I don't know about that.
Yes, you could.
You absolutely could. Especially if Russell Wilson
Tomlin
goes out
is not losing a locker room, dude. No way.
Listen, here's the thing. If Russell Wilson goes out there, has a bad game, throws 2 picks, only has 1 touchdown, and they lose after just coming off a 32-point game with Justin Fields, that locker room is going to be like, okay, our coaching staff don't know what they're doing.
I heard a rumor about them using 2 quarterbacks in an offense. Do you hate that?
I hate any 2 quarterback offense.
If you can't have one competent one, have 2.
I don't hate that much.
He missed some.
It never works. It literally, the only time I've ever seen it work in college or the NFL was UF that year they had Chris Leak and Tim Tebow in the goal line. That's the only time I've ever seen it work. And everyone else thinks we could be Florida in 2007. No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah.
Like
you don't have Tim Tebow.
There's some scenarios like I forget who it was, but when it might have been the Dolphins, like Jacoby Brissett, they would bring in for short yardage to rush, and like I know the Saints would bring in Winston.
You know why? Because Jacoby Brissett is like the unanimous best quarterback at doing quarterback sneaks.
That's the best thing
I heard that somewhere. An announcer said that when he came in.
So
They're like, he only comes in because he's so good at it. I was like, what?
It's so random, but it's true.
What? Well, I mean, that's what the Browns did that with Jameis against the Jags. He picked up like 3 like 3rd and 4th and 1s. Just come in for one play to QB sneak, and they'd waddle Deshaun Watson back out there.
I just don't get like when you're winning to it like this.
Yeah, I don't understand.
The Colts have been more competitive with Flacco, but that one at least makes sense. You want to develop Richardson. He's your guy.
They've been more competitive. They lost to the Jags, Bob.
Yeah.
That was not his.
Not on Flacco. It was on their terrible defense.
It's the quarterback.
He threw for 400 yards and like 4 touchdowns.
No turnovers.
And you know what the great thing was? I took Flacco in fantasy, in daily fantasy, and I won like $200.
That's pretty good. Is the Raiders season over? Are they just on the next season?
The Raiders season has been over. It was over before it started. They play in the AFC West.
They were competitive last year. Should they trade Max Crosby?
Only to Detroit. If not, keep him in Vegas. What has Christian Wilkins done? Anything?
They put him on IR.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. I think he had like 1 sack maybe or something.
Wow.
But rough for him.
All that money.
All right, this was another murder. An annual Cowboys get murdered at home. 47-9. Detroit. Though, would you say it was a loss for Detroit? Losing Agent Anderson more important than this game?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a loss.
It's bigger than it is. But this was still a super dominant game. But yeah, that's really bad. But they're a really good team. But that's really bad.
What great analysis from Trevor.
They're a good team, but it's bad. It's real bad.
But they still are.
I think I'm not liking Detroit that much anymore.
Trevor, you've also been a Dak supporter for years. Why does he do that? Like, he'll have some big games, and then just games like this, he just does not show up at all.
Bro,
what is the problem?
Who did he have big games against so far this year? I'm just curious.
I'm talking about not this year.
Oh.
There's you can't win football games. You can't win football games without concepts of a running attack. You can't just throw it and all you have is really CeeDee Lamb. Like you can't run I'm saying I'm out on the Cowboys. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. In week 2, I told that guy from England when I was on his podcast, Andy Davies, that it wasn't the last time they were going to get blown out by 20. I really think they're missing the playoffs. There's no concept of a run game. A defense doesn't even have to prepare for it because they just don't have it. Stop the pass. You beat the Cowboys.
I just don't get it because Rico Dowdle has ran the ball well. He's averaging like 4 or 5 carries a game, but he's only getting like 7 or 8 touches. Like the Steelers game, he ran the ball 20 times. He had like 90 yards, and they won that game. I don't know why. And then the Lions, he had 5 touches in that game, and Zeke had 8 carries for like 6 yards. Like, I don't know why they haven't given Dowd more touches.
They can try it, but
he's been more competent than anything else. But they just won't commit to the run game.
Yeah, I think it's over. Did you see
you
Jerry
look at their wins this year. There's a win against Pitt. the Steelers, 20-17. Dak threw for 352, but had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, which isn't great.
Have you guys seen their schedule too? They're at San Francisco, at Atlanta, home versus Philly, home versus the Texans, at the Commanders.
This team is not.
That's a stretch.
But then, they've won against Pittsburgh, New York Giants, and Cleveland. Are there 3 wins this year?
And even the Giants game was close.
Both the Giants and the Pittsburgh game were close. Yeah. The only good win was against Cleveland in week 1. I mean, good win. They won. Yeah. I mean, Cleveland sucks. But they did. It was a win by more than 5 points.
All of us talked about this in the offseason, that they did not do anything this offseason.
Yeah.
They're one of the biggest losers, and obviously
And if they miss out on the playoffs, it leaves a playoff spot for a hungry NFC team, and I think there's a lot of those. There's 4 of them in the North, probably 2 of them in the South, and the Commanders too. So
maybe Philly.
Yeah, I would like to think Philly would make it.
They're very injured, though. I know they lost Goddard.
We're back, though. We're back to the NFC least.
That's true. Yeah,
we're back. We had a couple weird years there.
Anytime the football team located in Washington is in first place, you're back to the NFC lead. Unfortunately.
All right. Well, last game, 4 p.m. Atlanta, 38-20 win over Carolina. Atlanta doing it on the ground this time after Kirk had 500 yards. Atlanta's looking good.
Listen, he needed to rest his shoulder. He's getting older now. I'm sure he had an ice pack underneath the shoulder pads that game. So, and when you throw 500 yards, you got to take a couple weeks off. Just kind of.
I'm a known Andy Dalton supporter. I like Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton makes his team a lot more competitive. If they start Andy Dalton the rest of the season, they'll have a better record. This team is not going to go anywhere with Andy Dalton. At some point, they have to give Bryce Young another shot and see before the season over if they want to keep him next season or if they need to draft a quarterback, because they're going to have a really high pick and they're going to need to decide if Bryce Young deserves another chance or if they need to draft somebody.
I agree with that.
Good job.
I don't think it was smart. So here's my thing.
It could be good for him in the long run to give him benching, I think. Sometimes it works.
My whole thing with it was okay, the first things first, he's coming off a bad rookie year, so his confidence is already a little You're also bringing in a new head coach to be the quarterback whisperer. That's the whole idea. He's good at coaching offenses, good at coaching quarterbacks. He's going to turn Bryce Young around.
Whoa. What? Who are we talking about?
He's going to change the trajectory of Bryce Young's career. He's going to get it back on track. And then after 2 weeks, you're like, actually, we're going to start this old vet for no reason. Because let's be honest.
I think they just didn't.
I don't even believe the Carolina Panthers believed they had a shot in this division this year.
I think Andy Dalton is the better quarterback. They just didn't want to lose the locker room. They want it, and now that this. They showed they're good enough to compete, but this team is good enough to. They competed with the Falcons for 3.5 quarters, but the Falcons are the better team. They couldn't hold on.
Why would they lose the locker room?
If you have a better quarterback behind him and you're not starting.
Oh, you mean putting Bryce back in?
No, I'm saying if the Panthers players thought they had a better chance to win with Dalton, they'd rather start Darnold instead of developing. Guys like Deontay Johnson that are there for their careers.
I think it's David Tepper. I think David, because here's the thing.
He's heavily involved.
Head coach, just play the better quarterback.
The head coach comes out and says, Bryce Young's our quarterback. And then the next day it's announced that Andy Dalton's going to be the starter.
But I think
that reeks of the owner going in, this guy's not getting it done. We got to get the Red Rocket in there. He's going to lead us to the promised land.
Yeah, me and Zach are saying sure they're more competitive with Dalton, but at this point, 1-5, they're not going to go much better than this. This is about seeing if there's a shot in Bryce Young left, or if they need to draft a quarterback first overall next year.
But that's why I wouldn't have benched Bryce Young to begin with, because this is a year. Let's be honest.
So bad.
Let's be honest. Going into this year, this was not a year where the Panthers were going to be competitive, maybe win the division. This is not the year. It's just not. They didn't add a ton in the offseason, and a lot of other teams in their division got a little bit better. Not their year. That's
he was playing
fine.
so terrible, there was no reason to start him at it.
That's fine. This year was supposed to be the year where we find out, can this coaching staff turn Bryce Young around, turn his career around, get him moving in the right direction, see if we can make something out of Bryce Young. Because he had a horrible rookie season. So let's see if we can get him back on track, get him moving in the right direction. And then after 2 games, you bench him. That doesn't make sense. It never made sense.
I don't think they ever wanted him because he was drafted in previous ownership under their.
Well, that's why the coach was brought in. The coach was brought in because he's supposed to be a quarterback whisperer.
I think you're going to either say Sanders or Cam Ward or Beck or one of those guys is going to be this drafted. I do not think the Panthers starting.
God, I hope Cam Ward doesn't get drafted to the freaking Panthers, dude.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
All right, last game of Sunday.
Or the Jets, because those 2 franchises.
Why not the Jets?
They
don't want them to play on the turf,
dude.
No, they're good. The Jets are going all in, dude.
Huh?
The Jets are going all in. They just said.
What does that mean?
They've
been going all in for 3.5 years. And how many division titles they won? Have they even finished second in the division? No.
Nope. All right, last game of Sunday. Pretty boring game. Bengals, though, the season stays alive, barely beating the Giants in a pretty ugly and boring game.
By the way, God, can we talk about that Aura merchant that the Bengals have at quarterback? His little face. He's doing his little faces.
At 2 and 4.
2 and 4, locked in an absolute slugfest with Daniel Jones.
I do want to say, all right, so the Bengals have the Browns, the Eagles, and the Raiders coming up. So they should at least be 4 and 5 at that point. And then they got the Ravens on Thursday Night Football.
Oh.
It's not too early to kind of look at the standings. Because 7 teams make the playoffs. There's a lot of teams floating around 500.
It is a very even league. There's a lot of mediocre teams this year. I think there's only 4 teams that only have 0-1 losses right now. Vikings, Chiefs, Texans. Oh, so there's only 3.
I also think the Texans are fraud.
Lions.
That's
I think the Texans
are fraud. What?
Yeah. Texans are fraud.
The Lions too.
Any team that wins a close game against the Jaguars is fraudulent. Any team that wins a close game against the Jaguars is fraudulent.
That's 1 game.
Okay.
It's a division game too.
The Texans, they've been 1 score in like every single game this season. Now they look at it.
Yeah.
They only beat the Bills because McDermott's an idiot. They barely beat the Jaguars. They beat the Bears by 6. They beat the Colts by 2. Some close games.
They've
had no running game for the past 4 weeks until this week. Which
they just got rid of Cam Akers as well.
Yeah, because Mixon is back. Mixon looked great. But all right, last game of the week.
Joe Mixon hater.
Last game of the week.
I'm a Joe Mixon hater, but it's for personal reasons.
Other reasons, yeah. The quarterback that Trevor said could not play well against good defense, who had only played well against terrible defenses, played well against a top defense, a defense that had not allowed a quarterback to throw for more than 1 touchdown against them this season. And he threw for what? 3 or 2?
That's what happens when starting cornerbacks get hurt.
He played until the 4th quarter. He had all his touchdowns when Reed were in there.
He played well.
He played
all right.
All right.
But
he hates, dude. He hates so hard.
Josh Allen.
No one cracks out harder than
the NFL with
Scott. No one ever.
He's not elite.
He's the only quarterback without an interception in the NFL this season. The only one.
True.
Yes. Starting quarterback.
Trask doesn't have one.
Kyle Trask does not have an interception. Starting quarterback. How about that?
That's fine. But I was told in order to be an MVP that you had to have over 4,000 passing yards. I was told that a lot by Bills fans. He's on pace for 3,200, which is Tim Tebow numbers. What?
I'm gonna guess Amari Cooper will probably help that.
Oh, I
would
forgot
assume
about that. Yeah.
I would assume so.
Trevor, do you think the Jets season is lost? Zach seemed to think so earlier.
Did you guys see the picture of Stephon Diggs staring at the Chiefs parade?
Yeah, and the Cooper.
But it was Amari Cooper this time. They put a Cooper on his jersey. What did you ask?
Do you think the Jets season is over, as Zach said?
Let me look at their schedule real quick. 2-4. It's an AFC where you got to win football games to go to the playoff.
The Bills are 4-2. The Bills have the Titans, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, and the Colts. They could very well be 8-2.
2, 3, 4.
Especially
5,
if Tua does not return by that game.
8. They got 8 very winnable games left. And they're 2-4. So they'll probably only win maybe 5 or 6 of those. 8 and 9.
They probably need at least 10 to make the playoffs.
Huh?
You probably need 10 wins to make the playoffs in the AFC, I would think.
Well, everybody's kind of mid. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's going to be close. They're going to have to win some games at the end of the season, just like football teams do. So,
But I thought scoring only matters because they keep score.
That is true.
It's true.
That is true. That's the only reason scoring plays matter.
I guess. All right. Any last thoughts for week 6?
Bills fans, don't lose hope. Be very excited about Davante Adams.
Why are they going to lose hope? They're like way ahead of their division. 4-2.
It's depressing, dude. It looks like just
He's talking about the Jets. He said
Jets
Bills.
fan.
Oh, I was like,
Jets fan.
it's like, why do you have to be depressed to be a Bills fan right now?
Jets fans, be depressed. You're not going anywhere this year. Your
No,
franchise kind of sucks.
get excited.
Rodgers looked the best he's looked all season last night, though. That Hail Mary was like, that man could throw a Hail Mary. There's no one better Hail Marys than him. For a guy that probably has never said a Hail Mary in his
You've
life.
never seen me throw a Hail Mary, but it's because you've never seen it. So,
And especially throwing up to a terrible receiver like Alan Lazard. Like,
yeah, Alan Lazard's so bad, dude. How does he even have a job?
You can't carry. How much would you bet on Alan Lazard in a playoff game?
what about him?
Just to hit an over of 64.5 yards.
This year, I would bet.
I probably, now that Devontae and Garrett Wilson there, probably. If Devontae wasn't there.
Without Devontae.
I'd think about it.
How much you would think about it, but you wouldn't put money down right away.
I mean, my maximum bet's like $5. So yeah, I absolutely would.
Zach's got.
He had 6 catches and 89 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Niners. He had 6 catches, 114 yards, TD last night. I don't know. He's having a pretty good
I don't know.
He's just an Adam Lazard hater for no reason. It's the most
I know.
random player to hate ever.
No, I don't hate on him. I'm not.
You're just randomly hating on Alan Lazard, man.
I'm not scared of him at all.
Did he like?
I bet if he walked up to you, you'd be scared of him.
He's 6'5", dude. He's 6'5". Do you know he was on the Jaguars, Zach?
I didn't know
He
that.
signed with the Jaguars and the undrafted free agent, but he was waived at final cuts.
They knew. They were like, nah, I just doesn't have it.
Goodness. I didn't know his best season in Green Bay was 2 years ago. Yeah, Trevor, you said his best season was 513 yards.
I said he only had one season over 500 yards.
But he's only played like 3 full seasons in his career.
Well, you can't do that. You got to play. Now look at Davante Adams' stats. And talk to him.
God.
Do it.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is a better wide receiver than Alan Lazard.
Much better.
What has Devontae Adams done like the last 2 seasons? When is the last time Devontae Adams has been that good?
What are you talking? Okay, that's horrible. That's horrible. 22 touchdowns in the last 2 years. 2,600 yards.
No, 2022. Yeah, he had 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, which is a good season, but that's not top 5, top 10 wide receiver
In
number.
the last 2 years, the year before
Yeah,
that
but
as
we're
well.
talking about the year before that when he had Derek Carr.
So you're not talking about the last 2 years?
Well, this year is the last
The year before that is 3 years ago.
Did you guys see Pat McAfee ask him how his hamstring is? And he's like, "Oh, it's really good, actually. It feels
He was
great."
definitely just lying, so he didn't want to play.
Yeah.
He had enough of Gardner Minshew.
It said they had a sleepover last night.
Do you think Pierce is going to be a one and done in Las Vegas?
Well, the dumb thing about it was like players like Max Crosby are like, he's got to come back. He's got to be the guy or I'm leaving. And then he comes back, and then you see not Aiden Hutchinson. Max Crosby like shoving him on the sideline and yelling at him.
I think
My God.
I think it's honestly given at this point that we're going to see the Sanders duo in Las Vegas next season.
That would be crazy.
I think it's
Oh my God! Please no, Las
It's
Vegas.
just like such a perfect scenario. Like
Deion Sanders couldn't coach his way out of paper bags. Like, what are we talking about?
That's a perfect market for them. Like, it's going to happen.
It is a perfect market for them. I'm just saying, if you ever want to have a winning team, don't do that.
Does Las Vegas care about having a winning team, or do they care about having entertainment?
That's fair.
Sanders will make them a ton of money. I don't know.
I don't think he should start right away wherever he goes unless they got a good line.
Raiders have a good line. They have Bowers. They just need a running back and a wide receiver one, because I guess they don't have a wide receiver one anymore. Maybe look at Higgins or something.
Higgins is a Patriot, I think.
Or Chris Godwin. Somebody. All right. Anything else?
Some third string LSU wide receiver. I don't know. Draft him.
That's true. They're
It's a
always
good bet. It's a good bet.
It is.
It's a good bet that he's pretty solid.
Dude, I just got a message from Twitter trying to ask me to get verified because I've had 52,000 impressions on my post the last 7 days.
That's
I just did the math, how much money that would make me. 44 cents.
Woo!
So
Big money.
there we go. Just I got a new pair of sunglasses on next episode, you boys.
It is not worth it. We have 42,000 followers. It barely covers the monthly subscription.
It's because it's like there's a For You page now, just like all the other apps. So you got to stay relevant or you're cooked.
Sadly.
Don't get cooked.
Do some polls, though. That always helps. That's what my granddad always told me.
I'm sure he did.
Do some polls.
Yes, Granddad. Trevor, now in 5 years, when Twitter exists, you have to make sure you do the polls.
To bring back the audience, yeah. He
Bring
told
back
me.
the audience and make them come back. They love the polls. Also, constantly rage bait Bill's Twitter. They can't help themselves. And you're like,
They
what's Bill's
can't.
Twitter?
You'll see.
Actually, at some point, it'll actually change the name from Twitter to X. Because some new guy is going to buy the company who likes spaceships.
Oh, Elon.
And then
Right.
Trevor's like, okay, Grandpa.
I just remembered that. I remembered it all. Only thing I remembered my whole life was that.
You want to do a couple rapid fire to wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right. Fill in the blank. Caleb Williams is the top blank quarterback in the league. I have him at
He's the top
17.
32 guy, man, for sure.
11.
Did you say he's 11, Trevor?
Top
Top-
11.
Top 32 for sure.
All things
For sure, top
considered,
32.
11.
I got him at 17 on my.
And if you guys don't agree with me, he's definitely top 33.
Yeah. Name a former Ole Miss football player. DK Metcalf, who the Patriots should have taken.
Ooh.
We go
Ah,
Laquan
God.
Treadwell.
Damn it. That was the one I was going to do.
Yeah. You're
Rough.
close.
Chad Kelly swag. All American swag.
Jaden Daniels is a rookie or rookie RG3?
Jane Daniels.
I'm thinking RG3.
You taking the
I was-
injuries or no?
Just rookie RG3. His healthy rookie year.
Then give me RG3.
Jane Daniels. RG3 was overrated his rookie year.
What is one reason why your favorite team won't win the Super Bowl this season? We have no talent.
We have no defense. And our coaching staff terrible. Dude, they're going to start bringing out the clown mask in Jacksonville
Oh.
pretty soon.
I don't know if the Bucks will win 2 straight games or 3 straight games against 3 very good teams in a row.
That's fair. Would you rather have a defensive or offensive-minded head coach?
Offensive.
Offensive.
I'm a big fan of being offensive.
Did you guys? We didn't talk about this. Do you guys like the Saleh firing, or do you think it was too soon?
I think
I like that he had to get taken out by security.
That was weird.
Himself like that. I like that he got wild.
It's
Dude,
so crazy. Aaron Rodgers fired his head
Madden.
coach. That's some LeBron stuff right there. That's crazy.
He can do whatever he wants, I guess.
You got on Madden and you had a franchise that you cared about so much, and it was like you just got a message, you've been fired. Wouldn't you be so mad?
Yeah.
We should make a Madden league.
Should.
NCAA 25 league first.
Last one. If these wide receivers are drafted again today, who would you take first? They all from the same draft class: Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Chris Olave, and Jamison Williams.
Probably Garrett Wilson with what I know now.
I'm taking Jamison Williams. He's so fast. London's looked a lot better last 2 weeks too, though.
Boy was fast.
I was a big Garrett Wilson when he was coming out.
He came out?
Yeah.
Damn.
So probably still Garrett Wilson, Drake London, probably close second, and then
You know what we should do for election season? We should think of players that we would want to be the president, vice president.
I've tweeted that before. What NFL player would you want to be president?
Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
That would be interesting.
I feel like that'd be the closest to you, Zach.
What?
I feel like it would.
That'd be Zane, not me.
Yeah,
Don't confuse me with him.
Gardner Minshew. No, I'd vote George Kittle, 100%.
George Kittle.
George Kittle would just be a party. Be hanging with the bros.
I don't know, dude.
I'd say Justin Jefferson.
Why?
I'd say there was a consistent theme in the guys Kerry was picking.
He's got the name. And there's actually a song called Justin Jefferson for President, believe it or not.
Interesting.
So
God, who would I want?
I would actually say Tyreek Hill.
Antonio Brown.
Shut up. No. That's like saying Deshaun Watson.
I might say Mac Jones, honestly.
You like legalize domestic violence?
Dude, imagine you put Deshaun Watson, he's just like, everything's legal.
What's that movie?
The whole country's just a Diddy party.
It's like, no, what's that movie? The Purge.
It's the Purge. Yeah. We're gonna start doing a Purge. I think that was a good idea. That's what I took from the film. Was that a good idea?
I saw a video that like Trump like suggested that.
What?
Like, we just have a day where we like just take care of all the criminals. What?
Everybody else in the meeting was like, right.
Yeah.
Good one,
Don. I don't know. I can't think of any.
Kirk Cousins, man.
Huh?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins would be a good president.
CJ Stroud.
You could see him swag surfing after throwing for 500 yards, dude.
He's a hero.
You know who could kind of be a good president if somebody really had to do it? Yeah, I might be a homer here. Old Baker Mayfield. Dude, what do you think?
No.
I feel like he's got some policies. I feel like he wouldn't back down at war. I feel like he'd fight with the army.
I feel like Kirk Cousins would be a better president than Baker Mayfield.
I feel like Kirk Cousins.
I feel like all wars would end.
He's like
just nothing but peace. Because he'd talk to him, he'd like, "Hey guys, how we doing?
The FBI
like, we doing
Pulls
okay?
out the chain.
We doing okay?" And they're like, "No, we want to go to war with you." He rips his shirt off. It's just the big Kirko chain, like studded out. And they're like, "Never mind, we're good. We're good. We love you." He's like, "All right,
like
dudes."
Or somebody else.
You know, like, the Secret Service is like where
like all the suits and everything. He just make them all wear Cole's clothes.
So I have a question. If life came full circle and like Kim Jong-un was a big fan of beer league football and he wanted to come on the podcast, would you guys be down for that?
Sure, man. Get us some views.
Yeah, definitely.
Would we have to record in North Korea or? Could
Yeah,
we
we
just
gotta
do
do
it?
that.
What is this, like the interview too?
Yeah, dude. That's probably never going to happen because it's me and Trevor are very vocal in our love for that movie.
I
But
feel like he wouldn't even drink beer. He would just get like a giant thing of cheese and start munching on it.
my kind of guy. Let's go.
We're like not even giving him any attention. We're just talking about football and bidets and stuff.
And pegging.
Yep, and begging. Yep.
Oh, don't forget milk.
Milk.
Kim Jong, you big milk guy?
Big milk guy?
No, it's banned in my country. Sorry.
I remember there was like a report that came out when that movie was coming around that he said like it was his bad image and he was gonna like bomb every theater that that played it or something, and that scared me so bad as like a fifth grader or whatever grade I was in.
Dude, that came out like.
Do it.
I feel like that came out like around like.
Trevor, you were definitely like in high school or
Yeah,
college.
whenever it was.
I think that came
was
out like in
scared.
2013 or 2014.
Yeah.
I was just a kid, man. Kim Jong-un, he sounded really scary at the time.
You guys think Trevor's dumb now? You should see him at like in high school.
Give me at like 15, dude. 14, probably.
Watch Trevor C's going to get really smart when he's like 87.
Yeah, he's gonna become a rocket scientist at
wise old
87.
man.
His brain finally develops.
Yeah.
Boom. I hope.
All right.
Oh God. All right. Is that all we have?
Yeah,
Get out of
that
here,
was enough,
boys.
All right, boys. Let's get out of here. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
How long was that?